Welcome back to Public Affairs on Peach. This is the back-to-school edition of the show. Unfortunately, bullying is a fact of life for many students these days, and Dr. Kirsten Moore from Balance and Potential Psychological Services is here to help you and your child navigate through the stress. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is a topic no one really wants to talk about, but everyone has to deal with at some point. Where do parents start when it comes to bullying? If their child has been the victim, how do you know, first of all, if they haven't said anything? Are there signs that you can pick up on?
Well, if a child becomes quiet or reserved, they might be being bullied. Listen to your children. Listen, listen, listen. Let them know that you're listening to them and that you hear them. And you can ask if they've been bullied.
And there are certainly children, as we speak right now, that are going to be going back to school on Monday that are already worried about this, may have dealt with it in a prior school year. How do you reassure your children going into day one that they may be having anxiety about this going in?
If they're having anxiety, you can show them how to be calm. You can teach them to be living in the present moment, teach them coping skills for managing their anxiety. You can teach them problem-solving skills. If the child has other adults that they trust or other people that they can confide in, it's important to be able to speak about how they feel and come up with solutions for things that they might be worried about in the future, because that's what anxiety is about.
I know this is kind of a generic thing to throw out there, but you know, in the movies we all see when bullying happens, the parent says, you know, basically go back and punch him in the nose, maybe not literally, but figuratively, and that's how you stop it. What do you recommend for parents in advising their kids who have been made to feel poorly at school for no other reason than somebody else is having a bad day or bad attitude?
Right. Well, bullies are people that are hurt themselves, that the system isn't working for them and they're acting out on other people. But if your child is being bullied, people are often taught to stand up to a bully, but it depends on the child's age, their developmental level, the severity of the bullying, if it's actually occurring or if it's something they're worried about, and how long it's been happening.
What if it's somebody picking on you in class on a daily basis and just, you know, making fun, nothing huge, but, you know, laughing and all that and trying to get other people in? How do you handle that as a parent? Because that seems to probably be the most pertinent one.
Right, definitely problem solve with the child. Ask them to listen to their own self. What do they think would be wise, and you know, model it for them, talk it through, role play it with them. What could they do? Should they say something to the bully, to say no and to stand up to them? Or are they fearful for their life? That if it's that severe, then they need to come up with a different kind of a problem-solving plan. It may involve speaking to a professional, such as the school counselor, or a professional like a psychologist or some other therapist.
Social media huge right now, and sadly also huge when it comes to bullying now happening online for all of their Facebook friends or whatever to see. That's a different animal to tackle because you can respond in comment form online. What do you suggest in that situation?
Well, in that situation, again, it depends on the age and developmental level of the child.
And how does it differ for like an elementary school student versus, say, a middle school or high school student?
Right. Well, if your child is just beginning in social media, I do recommend that you set expectations on what the parental controls and monitoring will be, so that the child knows what to expect and what they'll be allowed to do as long as they follow the parental rules. Parents need to teach their kids how to be safe, how to be socially acceptable, so that they don't bully and know how to respond when they are bullied. You know, as kids get older and they become teenagers, they want more and more freedom, and so it's a give and take relationship to teach a child how to take care of themselves, but also how to monitor them yourself.
Yeah, should you be snooping on their social media sites to kind of gauge what's happening with your kid?
I do think parents need to be involved. If you see that your child is bullying, I do believe that you need to let them know this is behavior that's not acceptable. The community needs to stand up against bullies.
All right, let's talk about the shoe on the other side of the foot. Let's say you have a kid that is bullying kids at school and you don't want it to continue to happen. What do you deal with there?
Yes, you do need to let the child know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, and let them know the reasons why. Let them think through the consequences. You need to teach your children to empathize and have empathy.
Do you see that corrected a lot of times? Is that correctable?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, and you see it not corrected?
Sure, unfortunately so. The parent-child relationship is important, and if a parent doesn't feel like they have the skills to do it, they can seek a professional, such as a counselor or a psychologist. Certain kinds of therapies, like behavior therapies like DBT and CBT, are shown to be effective in helping people to learn to be more effective interpersonally and to be mindful of yourself and others, to teach coping skills for managing the anxieties and moods that might be contributing to bullying behavior.
All right, we got about 5 seconds here. The website for people that want to find you and get in touch.
Balanceandpotential.com.
Balanceandpotential.com. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And that is going to do it for us here on this edition of Public Affairs on Peach. You can email us at publicaffairs@cbs46.com and like us on Facebook. That will give you access to future and past episodes. Have a great one.